Cultures around the world have traditionally consumed alcoholic beverages going back for more than 9,000 years. Looking into current research studies, alcohol consumption has been conclusively shown to be the direct cause of 7 types of cancer. These include cancers of the oropharynx, larynx, esophagus, liver, colon, rectum, and breast. Growing evidence implicates alcohol consumption in the development of skin, prostate, and pancreatic cancer as well. The oropharynx is the middle part of the throat behind the mouth and includes the back 1/3 of the tongue, soft palate, and side and back walls of the throat. The larynx is the muscular organ that forms an air passage to the lungs and holds the vocal cords and is also known as the voice box. The esophagus, also known as the food pipe, is the tube that connects the throat to the stomach. As of July 2018, the scientific journal Addiction concludes that there is more than enough credible evidence to conclusively state that drinking alcoholic beverages is a direct cause of these different cancers. This is not really a surprise. The 13th report on carcinogens, published in 2014 by the National Toxicology Program of the United States Department of Health and Human Services, had previously listed consumption of alcoholic beverages as a known human carcinogen. So, what is the risk? Of course, the highest risks are associated with the heaviest drinking. The troubling part is that even people consuming low to moderate amounts of alcohol seem to be at risk. Making things even worse, the review also shows that people who smoke and drink at the same time are at even greater risk of getting cancer. A 2009 study estimated that 3.5% of all cancer-related deaths in the United States can be attributed to alcohol consumption. The pertinent question then becomes, how does drinking alcohol increase cancer risk? Well, there are multiple ways. Let's take a look at 4 of them. Number 1. By breaking down or metabolizing ethanol in alcoholic drinks to acetaldehyde, which is a toxic chemical and a probable human carcinogen that can damage both cellular DNA and proteins. Number 2, by generating chemically reactive toxic molecules that contain oxygen-damaging DNA proteins and fats in the body via a chemical reaction known as oxidation. Number 3, by impairing the body's ability to absorb and use various nutrients associated with cancer risk, such as vitamin A, the B-complex vitamins like folate, vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin E, and carotenoids, which protect against cellular damage and aging. And number 4, by raising estrogen levels, a sex hormone, to a higher breast cancer risk. A pooled analysis of 13 case-control studies of cancer of the mouth, throat, and pharynx combined found that alcohol-associated cancer risk did not begin to drop until at least 10 years after stopping alcohol consumption. Even 16 years after they stopped drinking alcohol, the risk of cancer was still higher for ex-drinkers than for people who had never consumed alcohol. It is true that certain substances in red wine, such as resveratrol, have been reported to have beneficial effects for health, especially when it comes to cardiovascular disease. However, clinical trials in humans have so far not provided credible evidence that resveratrol is effective in preventing or treating cancer. Also, resveratrol can be more easily obtained from grapes, raspberries, and resveratrol supplements, all of which are much healthier options than red wine. Alcohol consumption is a dangerous choice for far too many men and women. No one plans on becoming an alcoholic. No one plans on acquiring a disease related to alcohol consumption. Alcohol risks reach deeply into the very fabric of society. Alcohol is a factor, for example, in about 60% of fatal burn injuries, drownings, and homicides, 50% of severe trauma injuries and sexual assaults, and 40% of fatal vehicle crashes, suicides, and fatal falls. Alcohol use disorder is a medical condition that doctors can diagnose when a patient's drinking causes distress or harm. In the United States, about 17 million people have an alcohol use disorder. Think before you drink. For more information, contact the Institute for Addiction Study. The link is in the description.